Hi guys, Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you a fun little earring set tutorial. So first what you're going to need is some Primo polymer clay, and I've got ultramarine blue and cobalt blue, and I've conditioned them and cut them into squares, and I will now cut them into triangles and just stack so that I can create a skinner blend. Okay, just grab that and just pop them together like so, just angling them so that we have a little bit of each colour on each end. I have more detailed tutorials on how to do skinner blends on this channel, so if you would like a more detailed one, just search skinner blends on the channel and you'll find a few. Okay, so then I'm just going to take that and I'm going to turn that into a blend, like so. So then I'm just going to take that and fold it again, pressing out all the air bubbles, and fold it again. And this step is so that we can squish it down so that it will be a shorter blend, because right now the blend's fairly long. I want it to be about that long. So we've just squished it down into a slab like so. Then you're going to take both ends and you're going to gently apply pressure, flip it, apply pressure again, and I keep this finger over here so that it doesn't bend. And if you see any bends, just gently go and flatten those out. Apply more pressure and just go slow. The slower you go with this, the better. You can even press it like so. Okay, and there you can see it, that blend is much shorter now. So now go roll it again through the pasta machine from this end to this end, and then we can move on to the next step. And there we go, that's much better. So then I am going to grab some plain printing paper. I'm just going to use that to burnish this down onto the tile. One reason is so it sticks onto the tile, and also another reason is so that it's nice and flat and doesn't have any bumps or imperfections on it. Also, by the way, I am using a glazed ceramic tile. And I'm going to be using this silkscreen today. And I'm just going to peel that up. And I'm going to apply it to my piece. Like so. Smooth that down. Okay. Then I'm going to be using gold acrylic paint. This is the brand I'm using. Just pop that along the top, like so. And then we're going to swipe. Make sure to push that paint through the screen. And that should do. I'm just checking from the side whether I got it all through. And then lift up. Okay. And you can see how nicely that turned out. So then I'll lift that straight up. By the way, I have cleaned the silkscreen. You want to do that immediately. And there we go. That is how our veneer looks. So now the next step is going to be to create our crackle layer. And I've just got some black polymer clay here, and like before, I'll just give that a quick burnish. Okay. And any gold leaf will work. I'm going to be using this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and pop that down like so, and then we can even just use this to smooth it down onto the surface. like so. Just making sure to get rid of any air bubbles. And there's your gold. I'm just going to trim away the excess clay that we do not need. Like so. And then we're just going to lift it up. Don't worry if it crackles, that's completely normal. I'm going to put it on a piece of paper so that it doesn't stick. And I'll take another piece and burnish the leaf down, just so that it's not lifting as much anymore. Now I'm going to gently give it a pull in one direction and then give it a pull in the next direction. Like so. Give that another quick burnish. And there we go, you can see how nicely that's turned out. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this up at the top here just to clean that edge up. And we don't need a lot of metal leaf, so I'm going to just trim like so. Remove that, keep that, we will use that in a bit. I'm going to bring this piece over, our next one, trim it right at the top, like so. I'm trimming where the ultramarine blue is. Then I'm going to bring that over, like so. Then use a piece of paper to burnish, and now when you burnish, you want to be burnishing with the join line, like so. Don't be burnishing against it, because you'll distort it. Just burnish with it like so. And I'll burnish the rest of the clay as well, but mostly that join line. And that should have smoothed it right out, which is exactly what you want. Okay. Then I'm going to place another piece of paper over the top, and I'm going to flip it, burnish the clay onto the bottom piece, and then we want to lift the paper. I might want to give it a quick secondary burnish. There we go. And this is so that we can apply our backing. And the backing is going to be this metal leaf. However, I want to crackle it a little bit more, so I'm going to run this through the pasta machine, stretching it out a bit more. Like so. Then I will apply that to our piece. Again, burnish that on so it's stuck down well, and this is going to be our backing. Then I want you to flip your piece off the paper, and now you have two choices. You can either cut it on the paper, however the clay may stick in the cutter, so I'm going to burnish it onto the tile because we have the gold leaf on the back, and so it's not going to have shiny spots anywhere near as badly as it would if it was just clay on the back. So just pop that down. Give it a gentle burnish onto a tile. Make sure you're burnishing it onto a tile that you can just pop straight into the oven, so you don't have to worry about distorting it by picking it up. And I'm going to bring over a little triangle cutter, and I'm going to just position it. And I'm going to press down, and I'm not going to press the whole way through. I lift up, and this will unstick the clay from the cutter quite a bit, which means that you have less likelihood of it sticking in the cutter. So you cut halfway through, lift up, and then cut the rest of the way, and then you should end up with a nice clean cut without the worry of it sticking in your cutter. Okay, then I'll go to the next one, like so. Then I've got a piece for a pendant. Cut halfway through. Cut lift. Then I will lift that up. And there we go. Then you can see that there is some excess around the edges. Don't worry, that is very easy to clean up after it has been baked, so long as you don't lift it off the tile and end up pushing it onto the back. So just bake it straight as it is, and then when it's done I can show you the next step. Okay, and here they are out of the oven once they have been cooled. So when you pick them up off the tile, you should be able to just kind of brush that excess off. And so you can see how nice and clean the sides are. I have not sanded the sides at all, but they have come out nice and clean. So now the next step is going to be to apply resin to the tops, and then when we're done we're going to flip them over, and for this one you don't really need to do all that much. For these ones, however, when we flip them over and apply the resin, I am going to be putting a little earring back on them. For this one, just apply straight resin. I'll show you that when we actually get to it. But yeah, these ones I'm going to apply a earring back with the resin so that it sticks. And yeah, but you want to apply the resin to the fronts first, because once you've applied the earring back, this is going to sit up like this and won't lie flat, which will make applying resin to the fronts very difficult. Okay, so I've just got them on a silicone resin mat. And this is the UV resin that I am using. I sell this on my Etsy store, Jessima Design. And on that note, actually, now that I remember, if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please do hit that subscribe button. It's free, but it means a lot to me. And the like button, if that's possible as well, please. That really makes a huge difference to the channel, and it means a lot. So anyway, once you've applied the resin, you can see there how it brings up all the colours and makes them stand out a lot. And it will just really bring up the shine. You can see the metal leaf there as well. Now, you do not have to apply resin. You can of course apply a gloss varnish as well. However, you do need to seal this, mostly due to the metal leaf. The paint you don't need to worry about so much if you've heat set it by baking it along with the polymer clay, but the metal leaf will flake off if you don't seal it. Okay, there we go. So that's that one compared to the others. I'm going to apply resin to the others. I'm going to put that into a UV light for 15 minutes at least, and then we will apply our backs. Okay, and here they are. And you can see how nicely they turned out. So now we're just going to flip those over, like so. And I would recommend grabbing your resin. And we're going to add a much thinner layer than we did on the front. Just because you don't want it to be running all over the place. There we go. So just spread that around over the surface like so. Okay, then once you've done that, grab your pin. I'm just going to insert that like so. And then don't worry about it being perfectly in the center right this second, because that can be sorted out later. Right now what we want to do is you want to make sure to cover this part in resin. And it doesn't need to be a super thick layer. I'm just going to use the surrounding resin just to dab it on. So making sure that I have a sufficient cover, and because we don't have a huge amount of resin on there, it's not going to be moving around all over the place. So then move that into the center. I'm just going to look at it from the side so that I can see actually if it's in the center. Alright, then put that into the UV light for 15 minutes and repeat with the other earring. Okay, then once that's done and you've resined all the backs. You want to grab the piece that you're going to turn into a pendant, and I want you to just drill a hole in the top. So just find the center, okay. Press down, and then begin to drill a hole. There we go. Okay, and just keep going the whole way down until you reach the other side. Okay. And then once you've reached the other side, go back through. Like so. And there you've got your hole. Okay. Then I've got myself a bail, and I'm just going to open that up. And pop that through the hole. There you go, just have to work it through. Down and close the bail, like so. And then you can use whatever you want as the cord. I'm just going to use a rubber cord since it's simple and clean. And there we go, that's the necklace. And here are our earrings. So you can see there the finished edge. And they will lie to the side, like so. But yeah, that's basically it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to support this channel, please do consider becoming a member. There is a link to join the YouTube membership below this video. Or if you'd like to have more tutorials, more options, there is a link to Patreon in the description as below. That is also really helpful. Or just having a look at my Etsy shop and seeing if you'd like any of the tools like the silk screens and cutters we used in today's tutorial. That's also another great way to support the channel and is greatly appreciated. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.